Alright. To work and not be lazy because I have to. I'm probably gonna be a little bit later in terms of like streaming. Like I was planning to stream at 8 p.m. at country time, but I think I'm gonna stream at like 9 or 10 because I haven't worked out for the day. So I'm just gonna like film some videos now and then afterwards work out later and then do the stream. And also I was thinking maybe not to play Enfield today. I was thinking to play Stronghold Protocol today. So we'll see what I choose. Anyways, let's me figure out how I want to settle. How's things going? You are watching a man work. I cannot promise that there's like things and insignificant stuff that I'm definitely gonna film, but I'll try. I wanna at least make it purposeful. Okay. Oh, thank you, Johnny. Did I write Arknight instead of Arknights? Oh, I didn't. Okay, I wrote it correctly. I've been meaning to make a gacha Wikipedia guide. This is supposed to be Wikipedia. Because I feel like some people, especially the new people, but even like some mid-game players don't really know how to save um for the banners. Hi Kev, it's been a while.
It is.
How was the holiday for you?
It was mundane.
Mundane.
Nothing happened.
So lots of sleeping in.
Yeah.
Um the trip for me, I feel like I'll talk about it later because there's less people watching the stream. But when I went to Indo, a lot of the trip for me was not using my phone. Actually, like I had the lowest screen time ever. Because we were out in the open. Like basically we lived on an offshore platform island. Like we're in the middle of the ocean, and it's just a wooden building in the middle of the ocean. Um, and then it was just us over there. But it was very fun. To have done that. Thank you, Shuat. Hey, is it because I don't have my stream overlay or something? Oh yeah, I turned off my stream overlay. Oh, that's so silly of me. Okay, no wonder I cannot see anything. Okay, but um, yeah, I just never really used my phone all that much. Then I remember when I came back from the trip, I was like so bothered because like you know the recent videos that we made of the IS and stuff. I was like, wow, shit, so few people watch. But then again, right, I think so few
Yeah.
people watched it because we like NT popped up on 28 April or 29 April. So I feel like everything behind, right, all started to fall together because everybody started switching their content type to a new game because everybody loves new and shiny things. So like why would they not just watch something else? And I realized that
Right.
gacha content creators, right, are like people who sits in the water of an ocean. Like when a new thing comes out, right? Everyone, wow, not even swim to that direction. Everyone will just tsunami themselves into there. So as a result, when that happens, it doesn't help like existing games in a way because it's like the reason why I feel that AK viewership and NQ viewership had been in a perhaps healthier state than the past few months was because all the creators were creating the same videos at the same time. So as a result, when people get recommended videos, they get recommended videos of like that very same um game. But then now that everybody goes into like a different game title, then it becomes very like the majority becomes that title also, and then after the other thing is that the other games become like a scattered space. So the reason why I said I wanted to like do a short haul with you was because it made me reflect quite a little bit about the way that I've been doing YouTube for a while. And also, by the way, you guys are hearing me talk to my editor Kev openly in public to let you know what I think of YouTube right now. Like I don't hide things from you guys when I think about what I'm doing.
Damn.
So like as a result, I think on the trip when I flew with my friends as well, and some of them asked me like how I've been working and everything. I I remember that when we were back onto YouTube and stuff, in the early part we were discussing as to how like um we wanted to see what will Enfield do to the YouTube channel, how will it help the AK space, and then how interested people will be with the way that Enfield goes. But as time sort of passes, then what I sort of see is that Enfield, on the content creation standpoint, may have suffered the same fate as AK. That is, there's only like a proportion of people that wants to watch Enfield videos. So as a result, right, I kind of feel like the growth that I can have as a content creator, whether as a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer, I feel like I plateaued very badly. Plateaued in the sense that I'm not decreasing in terms of my viewership. I'm not decreasing in terms of like, the number of new people that finds me out, but I actually no longer think I can grow. Like it's quite tough. Like lots of people will say, like when people think about content creators, especially gacha content creators, like you guys who's watching right now, if you guys were to give me an advice, I know you're gonna be telling me things like, hey Cookie, if that's the case, you should play other games. Like you should go into HSR, you should go into like try a different game, Blue Archive, go Uma Musume, like do something different so that more people discover you. But I never liked that as a strategy as a content creator because the problem is that's not genuine. Like I do what I do and I play the games I do because I love those games. I'm not gonna play a different game because it helps me be a content creator. I am what I am now because I like the games I play. You know? So I've never been bothered about, oh, I definitely need to be better as a YouTuber, therefore let me just jump to like 10 other titles. Like I in a way, like I don't respect it. Those kind of content creators are not my thing to watch. Too much variety stretches viewership further. Yeah, it's kind of true. Like I felt that way when doing Enfield with AK as well, because some people apparently like to watch me purely for AK, and then they get very annoyed when they see Enfield stuff on my channel because they're like, oh, I kind of only watch you for AK. So that's like the current state of my feelings towards what I'm doing on YouTube right now. And it's quite difficult for me to, hold that in me. But one of the things that I then considered is that honestly speaking, I did tell you guys before, for those of you who are more perhaps like online and dedicated to watch me all the time, that what I told myself with my perspectives of content creation is um I'm actually doing this for the entirety of the year. Like this is my only job right now. And to me, if it doesn't work out by the end of the year, I genuinely don't think that I can sustain it. And I think realistically I shouldn't stay into it. However, I'm not saying that the channel is like getting worse. I'm saying that actually the channel has grown. Like the current state of my channel is the best I've ever seen in my 6-7 years of doing content creation. So as a result, like it's not a bad thing that this is what it is, but it's stopped lah in terms of growth, and I think that's a huge concern. So my largest worry right now, continuing to become an AK creator and an Enfield creator, is that the way that I choose to survive and sustain myself, rather than it being the quality of the videos. The problem with quality of videos is that one, a higher production video with more intense topics that people perhaps want to listen to needs to be more nuanced, right? I need to make more balanced videos. Like if I were to make spicy hot topics, I cannot just say it to say it. I can, that's an easy way, but I need to be prepared that people will disagree with what I say. And how much people am I allowing to be like misunderstanding what I say, or those kind of things. I can be making guides, but even guides takes time to research and all that kind of stuff. So as a result, one of the things that I see a lot of gacha content creators do is they go with a quantity strat. Meaning to say, I think this is something that is very apparent with the likes of people like Poke, Mr. Poke specifically, and with the likes of Sticks, for example. So they're the type of people where everything deserves to be posted, type of thing. Like they're always updating their YouTube channel. and it's their way of trying to keep themselves afloat. Like it's their way of staying alive as a gacha content creator in order to get a sort of revenue that they feel respectable to keep doing what they do. I could do the very same thing, but my largest issue with the quantity strat is that I also think that it's the biggest way to burn yourself out. Because you're always chasing, and then you always feel like you'll not take a break. If you end up becoming a person that posts like 3 videos a day, 4 videos a day, like just how much of your personal life do you actually have? And I don't think of that in terms of like only myself. I also think of that in terms of my editors. Like I don't want them to suffer doing this kind of job. Like I want them to enjoy the process of editing and not be worked up over it. So the thing that kind of pains my mind right now is the fact that I feel that I, for one, I wouldn't leave the AK community in any way because, as you all have long heard in whether my videos or streams, that I don't think this is a game that I'm gonna drop. Like both AK and Enfield, I genuinely think I'll play them for like the next 5 years. Like if somehow I have a partner and I get married, that kind of thing, I still think like as that sort of husband, like I might still be playing the game, that kind of stuff. Would I still be on YouTube? Maybe not. I don't know. But like, um, if I have the option, I'd say yes. I'd still be online. But the thing that I kind of think about quite a bit now is the fact that I do think that my type of content, if I want to see myself really grow as a YouTuber, needs to change. Like I don't think I can keep doing the same game. And that doesn't mean that I'm trying to switch games, or like go into a different live service game. In fact, I'm kind of grown out of live service games, and I'm now starting to think what is something that people enjoy watching, no matter the time of day, no matter the year, and that is, like in some words, people describe it as a variety YouTuber, or like someone who is more real life, someone who is more oriented to things that happen from day to day. So that doesn't mean that there's no gaming involved because such people can also have gaming of like whatever game titles that appear. But in a way, like I would rather that my YouTube channel kind of like goes into that direction. But in order for it to happen, I don't think I can do it on this channel of like Cookie Kaze, because like this Cookie Kaze channel has been very cemented over the years already. Like I have more than 1,200 videos, whether it's stream shorts and whatnot. Like there's 1,200 different things that I've uploaded to this channel, and everything has to do with AK. So if I were to suddenly make a diversion, it's possible because other YouTubers have done that as well. They're lazy, they don't need to create a second channel. But there's a little part of me that says that I may want that sort of clean slate. It will be fucking difficult because my own channel right now has been years in the making. And to create a second channel is like trying to press a restart button. But at the very least, I can see that sort of growth. It's not going to be easy to maintain 2 places, but I now strongly think I need to think about how to be more variety oriented. Because I think when you are a variety person, it's a lot more freedom and a lot more options and discovery to think about how you can grow as a YouTuber. So basically, for the short summary, for those of you who just came in, I'm now in the state of my mind where it's like I'm okay to continue what I do for the next 2 months, in a sense, to continue to stay as a very locked in AK and Enfield creator. But I think I am literally like ringing an alarm bell for myself right now and telling myself that I need to do more than just be an AK creator, and I want to do different type of content. So this means that I'm going to pursue a very difficult type of lifestyle because I'm trying to run two things at the same time. I couldn't do this back then because I was a university student. But now that I'm no longer a university student, I'm now starting to think how can I make that happen for myself and then be able to run two channels at the same time. So I'm just letting you all know that that's something that is on my mind right now. Like, content creation is not easy at all. It stresses the shit out of me. But um, I enjoy what I do. Despite it being stressful, I love the fact that I get to entertain people, and it's something that I wish and hope that I can do it for a long part of my life. So yeah, did I finish the factory event? You mean the AIC one? I think I didn't. I forgot to buy. No, but there's phase two though. I haven't spent my currency yet. The algorithm will get confused and damage my channel if I put it in the same channel. I know, that's why I cannot make like other content into the current channel. The different content. What do I think about the current YouTube? You mean like my current channel? And you asked that question, Darkness Terror, and what do I think of my current channel? As in, I'm proud of my work. I'm proud that I stay loyal to the AK community. Um, Maybe a little part of me feels a bit uh disappointed because I don't think I'm that desired in the AK community. I feel because I think when I think about how people online and perhaps even offline perceives my channel, I tend to not be me. I feel, and I feel that um other YouTubers tend to get named as well, and very much specifically the guide YouTubers. So like Kilstin and Ekogen are more named, despite me being in the scene around the same time as them. And then I would say that people cherish Supa more than I do because I think people just find Supa funnier than I am. And I think that's fine. I've never, for a long part of my life, I never once called and thought to myself that I'm a funny person. Like I laugh to myself and you guys laugh to me. But it's like it's not that I don't like myself or anything. I just never thought that I'm that funny, kind of stuff. So I can totally understand when people prefer Supa's content over myself. And especially because like the way I describe my stream and my videos sometimes is like my type of videos are to me like at least the type of videos that you get a cup of drink, I don't know, something hot, something cold, and then you just drink along the side while listening to my video or do your work along the side because I'm like a chill person. I'm like a cozy person for you to listen to. I'm not the person who will like make you uh, always anticipate the next joke, that type of thing. If I happen to joke with you guys, it just hits you unexpectedly, rather. So yeah, I totally understand that my style of channel is not usual, but I like it that way because I feel that the way that I stream and the way that I make videos is what I personally would watch because the style that I am gives me comfort for myself. Because like when I think about the YouTubers that I like to watch, like I in a way match their vibe a bit. So that's why I'm the way that I am. Yeah, there's that. Uh, you would love if variety would work out and do even better. I don't think it will work out easily, for sure, especially if I start like completely afresh. But I will learn and figure out. Oh, thank you, Caffeinated Cat. Why do you subscribe to me while you're in the call? What do I like to watch? I enjoy watching April. I enjoy watching Thinking Man's Valorant. I enjoy watching variety shows. Like, I enjoy watching some podcasts. Actually, for some reason, recently I've been enjoying Sidemen. I've always thought that Sidemen was like a group of very over the top, you know, popularity driven crew of people. But the more I watch them, the more I realize actually no, they're quite down to earth. And I quite like that. Like I like creators that are down to earth and not over the top. So they are the kinds that helps me to feel grounded as well. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, that's the thing that I want to tell you, Kev, about like how I think towards the channel right now. Because I think the whole NTE wave made me realize how volatile it is to be a culture content creator. Like it's a headache to always chase like people scold me. Like comments hate it when I clickbait people to watch the video, or like they hate it when the topics that I make can be like maybe very virality driven. But then my sort of response to these people is, so you want to watch or not? Like, if you don't want to watch, okay lah, I'll just get the fuck out of YouTube lah. Like, people complain that YouTubers chase views. And my response is just, what the fuck else am I supposed to do? Is that not my job? To make you want to watch? Like, I don't think clickbait is a bad thing. Clickbait is a bad thing when you click and the bait is that you got baited into watching a video that isn't good or isn't enjoyable for you. But like, I feel that clickbait is fine if you clicked and then you enjoyed your time watching it. That's the job of a YouTuber, is it not? So it's sort of like Yeah, I've never understood when people complain that my views or like my videos sometimes are very spicy. There are videos lots of people like to watch about a topic they are currently interesting is apparently bad. Yeah, I just never understood such people. On one hand, they might be kids, but I also have the thought that some of them are not kids. Yeah. We just got home. You hope I'm not gacha hopping. I don't think I'm gonna gacha hop. I genuinely think Enfield is the last game I want to play. And then I'm also watching people respond to Ananta and then getting crazy over the main character Chen Shu, and I'm just there like, brother, help. Like, people are simping over that character. It's a PNG. It's a fucking PNG. Chill. Have our taste in games have only been resorted to whether the character is hot or not, and not whether the game is fun or not. Like, like who's over who? The Ananta's MC. Yeah. Have I heard the reverse recent anniversary? No. What was it? Kev, you're still in the call with me. What happened in their recent anniversary?
I heard that it was bad.
You know that was bad. I feel like
Yeah, so
reverse.
I heard.
I'm not keeping up with reverse, but I can see that the attention in reverse is like dropping and dropping and dropping, and I feel bad for them. What happened?
I don't know the details. You
Oh,
don't.
you just know that people don't seem to enjoy the recent anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, the CN community despised the reverse anniversary. Why? Has to do with the unit change. Hmm. I don't really know why. I'm the only AK creator you watch on the regular because I'm chill. I mean, that's nice. I'm happy when people say that they watch my videos because they like the way I am. Because, I mean, it sounds narcissistic, but I also like the way I am. Like, I don't want to not be me. I find the way I am very comforting. So, yeah. There's a whole thread somewhere about balancing new units, killing off characters. Oh, one of the character in chapter 13 got reversed. Then instantly reintroduced his character as a different person. People started comparing with this Schneider. I have no idea what that means. How many people actually make AKE content besides me? Actually, yeah, is no one making AKE content? It's a good question though. Genuinely. Yeah. Who's even making AKE content anymore? In the Western side of things. All these Western creators are so quick to like jump the gun. Bro, even the biggest guy who milks the shit out of Enfield is no longer making Enfield. Like, where did Saint go? Saint's missing. I noticed that he's just berating the crap out of Ruwa now. He'll come back soon. I thought he was gonna slender 1.2. He has not 1 second slandered patch 1.2 yet. And because 1.2 ended up being really good. No, but I think it's so silly because like you see, I've never made a review for patch 1.2, but like patch 1.2 was so good in Enfield. And like as a result, right, with it being so good, it's so funny to see how no creators, or at least I'm not gonna say small size creators, because unfortunately small size creators always have it hard and their visibility isn't very good on the internet. But like if we talk like medium sized creators and big creators, none of them are talking about how good 1.2 can be. It's just like the state of YouTube, no one has good things to say. And apparently if you have good things to say, you look like a glazer. And like apparently you're sponsored or something. And that you were obligated to say. No.
Yeah, you can't give compliments now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like compliments are banned on YouTube or something. And I think that's just weird. Saint is calming down because he was getting shit on by everyone. Not wrong, but he's still doing what he does. It's just in other games now. You haven't played 1.2 in Enfield. Is it good at the moment? Enfield still has the same problems. But as a patch itself, I thought 1.2 was amazing. In fact, I think 1.2, I think this is over the board glazing for me, but I genuinely think it would be the best story experience I would ever have in any 3D gacha game title. Some of you will say, no, 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 no. The recent Wuhan one, the one that made people cry, like the one before Anniversary, like people are going to say, oh, that's going to top it. But like, no, I think 1.2 was enough to give me the confidence that that was really good. And I'm pretty sure they'll build up to an even better story later. So, yeah. Hating Enfield is already outdated. Now the bag is on hating NTE. Yeah, I don't like NTE, but I'm not going to make a video about it. Actually, in fact, I wanted to make a video about NTE. And I wanted the video topic to specifically be about the AI art trend. I wanted to use NT's AI art trend to actually defend them. Like, I'm not saying I defend AI art. I hate AI art, but I think there's a perspective that I have that certain ways that AI art is used to me is acceptable. And people need to stop jabbing the shit at AI art because it exists. We're not going to delete it. Instead of saying, fuck it, delete it, remove it, how about think about how AI art is actually improving people? Wait, what kind of AI art? So there's some elements of AI art that I feel is absolutely terrible. Like for example, um, calling yourself a professional artist because uh you are an AI artist. I think that's kind of scummy, you know. And then the whole idea that you need to put assets into something and then you use AI art for it. There are some industries that I feel that if you use AI art, you have to accept it. Like, I'll give you a very easy example. If you think of a restaurant that sells food, right? And if the restaurant needs to they want to have like a mascot or something, and they want to, put that character all over their restaurant posters, it's gonna look uncanny. But like, if they feel that that's the way they want to go and they want to use an AI generated thing, why is it wrong for them to do so? Because like they're not professional at that. They don't. Yes, you might say go hire an artist, go pay money, but there comes this little bit of war where sometimes hiring artists can be very expensive for such people as well. And if it means that they can save a whole ton of money, why stop them? Because restaurant costs are already very high to rent the place, to buy the ingredients and everything. And like design is like one of the less concerns for such an industry. So to me, that's one of those areas where it's like if someone uses AI art, I'm not gonna like it, but I'm not gonna hate them for using it because I understand that that's the way it is. I'd much rather that AI art helps the right people to save money to get their job going. But there are creative industries where I end up not respecting AI art, where it's like if you have assets in game and you hire artists, it feels very scummy when you don't use the artist to mix those assets and then afterwards you just generate something and paste it inside. That's the part where I'm a bit like, okay, no, I don't really like that. Of course, yeah, the point of AI art stealing artist' job is also very problematic. But at the same time, I think even better artists these days are using AI art to improve a certain part of their process, which is the ideation part, right? That is, you can use AI art to ideate. Because I don't think people understand what it's like to be an artist. Like, I'm not an artist myself, but I imagine that when you want to draw something, when you want to think of an outfit for a character, you have it on your mind, but your brain can only generate so many ideas at a time, right? Your brain can only generate like 5 ideas, 10 ideas, if you're a big brain. But even then, maybe those ideas aren't your favorite after all, and you still can't hit the mark of like what you want to draw. So if you have AI art where it can generate like 100 pieces, 200 pieces of like ideas of outfits for your characters, and then you start to think, oh, actually this one's not bad. Maybe I want to draw something similar to this concept. Then you can actually put that in. So like a lot of people got very upset. So this is coming back to NTE. A lot of people got very upset at NTE for generating basically NTE didn't admit that they use AI art. They just said that the assets in game are not directly generated. That's all they said in their report. But it does maybe imply that AI art is used in their process of creating things. And a lot of people got angry at them for that. But I'm a bit like, I don't think it matters, bro. Because for one, I don't think that the only company doing this. I'm actually very certain all major companies are doing this one way or another. To use AI art to think about how to quicken their process of thinking of what to draw. But like, on that part, I just don't understand why is it that wrong. Because at the end of the day, the person who draws will still be an actual artist who is using things as a reference. So I find that that's fine. Like that's the way that things work. So yeah. And where does the AI get the data to generate from? Okay, yeah, I agree. But I'm a programmer myself, and I totally understand that the process of training AI can tend to be very unethical because people just plug copyrighted sources in order to put it into a machine and then generate all that kind of thing. It is pretty scummy that this is the way that it works, and the scary part is that now literally any photo, anything at all can be used as a source of learning. I just recently saw a news of a guy who is a fashion brand in Singapore, and then apparently a European company um got his model picture and then decided to use that and say that they're selling that shirt over there as well. And it's basically like stealing because they basically didn't redesign much of what the outfit they were selling. And I think that's pretty terrible that people can just copy and paste and all this kind of stuff. Um, but for what it is though, I think there's a difference in using AI art to ideate and using AI art to steal. Because let me tell you about it in a different idea. When you want to create an essay, when you want to create a drawing back then, right? You think about how artists draws. Without the use of AI art, what they may have done is to Google search for, maybe a purple dress, right? Maybe ways to tie hair. And then they'll find those pictures. And then they draw based on those pictures. What AI art to me is doing is simplifying that process of going through a Google search trend and saving the people the time to do that in order to get the results in front of them much faster. So you might be saying, oh, it uses, images that are copyrighted and whatnot. But like, if you think about the process of how people discover ideas, it's the same thing. That you are just Google searching what would be the same copyrighted pictures to get your ideas. So on that part, it's sort of like we're not really changing the ways we are doing it. It just sounds more stealing when actually, in fact, everything is like on the internet. If you think about it. But the part that I then don't agree with is the understanding, because you need to understand that prior to AI art, plagiarism was always a problem. That is, people find drawings of other people, take, steal, trace art, draw, and all that kind of thing, and then say it's theirs. Like, it's not a new problem because AI art exists. The problem of plagiarism has long existed for the many years of us living. And you can say, yes, AI art therefore is speed running this because people do not understand that AI is trained on existing sources, which means if you directly take those existing sources to become yours, you are plagiarizing. You understand what I mean? So that's why I'm like putting forth that if you use AI in a certain way, I don't think it's necessarily bad because it's really not any different from how we've been doing things in life. It's just faster. So yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't make AI good. Too bad. You can't argue that. I agree that I don't like AI, but I cannot fault that AI makes lives faster. And unfortunately, with the state of our world and economy and people hunting for money, hunting for customers, like we're business oriented in life. It's disgusting, but accept it. There's no point fighting it. Like, you cannot force it. You can only persuade people to not do it. Like, I'd be someone to persuade people to not use AI as far as possible, or at least use AI more ethically. But you just cannot force it. Like one of the environmental movements in life, which is the Just Stop Oil movement. It's the one where people protest on the streets and then afterwards go down and hold signs, disrupt the roads, don't even care if there's important people using that road, just hold up a sign and say stop using oil. Like, I understand what they are trying to do, but it's just not the right way to do it. You cannot force everyone to stop using oil at the same time because oil does run our world. If anything, you yourself, from yourself, need to start using it less. And if that were the case, you have to find people who you can persuade to stop using oil together with you. You cannot persuade everybody in the whole world at the very same time. It starts from doing it from one person to the next person to the next person, and you try to make it a bigger mess, and try to then see how, as a bigger group of people, properly educate people as to why they should not use oil as much. So, yeah. As long as the AI is not the end product. Yeah, that's my opinion as well towards AI. As long as AI is not the end product, I don't really care how people use AI. So, because aside from generative AI, when it comes to art, AI really helps us nowadays. People need to give AI a bit of a chill break. Like, we use AI for programming. It's so helpful that you have Grok, ChatGPT. Why did I say Grok? Grok isn't a good AI platform, but you have Claude, you have uh Copilot. You have all these things that helps programmers nowadays to save what would have been 5 hours of coding into 10 minutes, and that is insane. So yeah, as long as you treat AI as a tool, it's fine by you. Correct, correct. That is my opinion to AI. One, accept that AI is with us, and two, then set the boundary. My boundary for AI is a tool. AI is not a product. So, yeah, this goes back to the NT thing. Do I think what NT is doing is ethical? The problem is that they're not being truthful, or at least I don't know if they are truthful or not. So, because of that, I wouldn't know. If a real artist did draw the assets of the game, then of course I'm going to say it's ethical. Of course it kind of depends on how the artist does it as well. But if they use direct AI like products and then just pasted up the posters there, then I'll be like, nah, they're kind of trash, you know. And then the other thing also is the trash. You don't have to make an entire statement to the whole wide world and tell everybody to stop playing NT at the same time. You yourself just don't play NT. That's it. Like, I'm not playing NT because I don't like that part of that, right? The potential use of AI and all that kind of stuff. But people need to understand that tons of other people in the world cannot give a single hoot about AI existing in their life. People would eat AI generated food. If AI generated food was a real thing, people would just eat that shit up. Like, that's the way that our world is right now. Our world has turned people into slop. It's not just the content we consume is slop. We ourselves as people are becoming slop. That people no longer have the boundary to care if AI runs their life. Like, if an entire museum was AI generated and no one knew it, or even if people can sense it, people would still fucking visit that museum. That's just how bad the world is now, because people just don't have substance in them. So, you gotta just accept it. Right. Anyways, that was my half an hour banter. But yeah, I did think about making that into a video. I could just clip out my stream and then do it. I don't know. I don't think it was that good. It was a bit all over the place. But actually, I don't know, Kev, Was whatever I just vented videoable? Cookie outer? No. My second channel is for other purpose from now on. It's a bit rambly. Yeah, it is quite rambly. But is it a good ramble? Oh yeah, but it doesn't stay to the topic. It doesn't stay to the topic of NTE. It needs to be more on topic. Okay, I will improve. I will improve. I'll probably talk about it again in a more structured manner. I can tell you that the one age demographic that doesn't give a shit that AI exists is the older people. Like, do I ever talk about meta or discuss how strong operators are, like Supa? Sometimes I think Supa takes, like, I love Supa, I do, but I think he knows it himself. Sometimes I think his takes are overboard. um, but I've reached the state of life that in AK that is, why the fuck are you caring who's strong and weak? I think AK has reached the point that you can just play whatever you want. Who cares if it's strong or weak? Because to me, right, if you use a weak person and you know how to use them very well, you still look like a very good player. If you use a strong person and you use them like shit, apparently it doesn't look like you're doing a bad thing because it's just the person is very strong and it's helping you beat through everything. But like you're actually using like 50% of what that unit can do. You know what I mean? Like I don't think strength of operators in AK matters anymore. But do I discuss how strong operators are? Yes, time to time I do on my channel. Oh yeah. I've chatted with Supa before. Yes, that people should objectively speak about operator strength. Yes. This was a personal convo me and Supa has had. Um, and I agree. People should say whether someone is strong. Like I'm very open to tell people if I think a unit is very bad. I don't hide that opinion. But yeah, then I finished the AKE event. Why are you telling me if I finish the AKE event? Is it is the time's up for it? No, right? It has another week, right? Am I mistaken? I'm fairly sure that the base event has another week. So how come you're asking me if I finished the event? Phase 2 started today. I'm aware that Phase 2 started today. Oh, do I have to change my material because of that? Is the god gone? Okay, I'll quickly log in. Okay, and then while I quickly log in the meantime, let me decide what videos I want to make. So yeah, I do think I might want to make a video about NTE and AI somehow. Like I don't even play NTE. I just want to talk about it because I don't know, man. Like I'm not saying I'm not on the side of people who hate AI. I also hate AI, but like, come on. This game destroyed your self confidence. You have a team of 6 and 5-star meta units and still can't clear 2 or 10 stars. I wanted to make a video about how to play AK better. Like when I say that, I mean, yeah. I wanted to teach people what I do to what am I thinking about when I beat stages in AK. So it's more so to like tell people um how to think in various stages. So I want to teach people the concepts of like, last deploy, who do you deploy first, um, split lane, choke points, enemy weakness, and like do it all into like one video. Oh, oh. just managed to finish phase 1 in time. Oh my god, wait, my Discord. What the hell? Okay, that was fast. So can I still sell the god? I could. But there's a new material? Is it still the god or is it something else? Oh, there's a new material. Okay, okay. But the gold can still be sold. Yeah, I'm not going to do it now then, since they can still sell it comfortably. Amount of goods traded exceeded the stock bill reserves of the outpost. Some goods are only exchangeable for fruits of altruism certs. What does that mean? Okay, 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 okay. I understand. Okay, it's overcapping because you're collecting the event currency. I get it, I get it. Okay. Oh, so I don't have to play it. Oh, actually, I do have to collect the dailies. Oh yeah, I warned you guys. I might not play Enfield today. I might play Enfield tomorrow instead. Because I feel like playing Stronghold. Because Stronghold is more fun than Enkill and Enfield, anyways. And I want to fully learn Stronghold. What else do I want to make? Oh yeah, I wanted to make like it's a very simple video idea, but I'm sure people would love to watch this video. Important dates of Arknights. So it's very, very, very similar to a video I've already made. But it's a bit different in the sense that it's like a condensed version of this video that I've already made for this year. The schedule of Arknights of this year. Oh yeah, Kev, if you're on the
New skins for Figurino.
Shut up, shut up, shut up. Yeah. Remember we said that eh? Sorry, Kev, I dropped out of the call. Ooh. Hi Kev. Remember we did the schedule of AK video, and then I said that it's like a longevity video. Yeah. It's very watched, apparently. It wasn't very watched at the start. But it's very watched now. It's like on 60,000 now, which is pretty good. But anyways, what I mean to say is that I want to make a condensed version of this video to just tell people like the most important dates that they probably want to care about and why. So like banner specific dates or like selector tickets. Because a lot of people ask like, oh, when's this selector ticket coming out? When's this like banner coming out? So I kind of want like pick 5 very important dates that people I think want to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a good fun video to make. Oh, you're editing the grids, right? Right now,
Yeah.
it should be a simple enough video. I need to check Lahiru's video for me. Because he did a video of the closure and Celtic, but I don't know if he did a good enough. Hey, this is an old video because this was from the stream. This was a standalone. Hey, maybe talk about upcoming events, like what stories new players have to complete. Oh yeah. I wanted to like do a event like a intermezzi side story what to play video. Cause someone asked me this and I thought it was quite nice. To make such a video. It's the AK lab tutorial video. You mean like my Arknights beginner guide? I've been I had to make this. I deleted it for so long. But no, it's actually still there. I do pull it off soon. AK driven Enfield's dead, bro. I thought it would be funny if I just made a video saying that Arknights and Enfield are dead. But then actually I'm not saying that they're dead. I'm just saying that there's nothing to do this month. And like tell people to chill. You know. I wanted people to know that AK is literally celebrating their anniversary now. And then CN is having such a good time. Because they just had Ambience Synesthesia yesterday. And then they also had their conventions and stuff. So like people are celebrating the crap out of AK in fact. Even though it's a dead month, it's not a dead month in terms of like on-site events. And like honestly, NTU's probably chilling because they need the time to like develop and be better on the game. And yeah. I could make that a video. It's very simple. I'm sure people would find it funny that I call the two games dead. This is what I call clickbait. But intentional clickbait. What are the other videos I wanted to make? Actually, I wanted to do a Silver Ash Alter operator showcase. Because I already entry both his skills. I also wanted to do Preminix. It's very easy to teach them. Thankfully, it's easy to teach them. And it's gonna be silly, but I'm also gonna do a Silver Ash showcase.
Okay, we're still keeping on that trend.
We have to. At least I'm gonna do some newer operators. I decided to change. It's just that newer operators are harder to teach because they have a lot more to tell people how it works.
Have you made an Exu showcase yet?
No. Exu Alter? No.
Exu, original Exu.
No, why Why original Exu? Oh, just to go very, very old.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is quite a lot of videos that I arranged. What do I want to film first? I should film one thing before I go out. I'm gonna go out of my house in like in 1.5 hours time. I'll go for a workout and then I'll come back later. Oh yeah. I don't know. I think this color that I'm wearing is very ugly. I'm referring to the color of my shirt. I think it's very ugly. It's green. My mom said I look like how do I describe this? My mom said I look like a corrective work order person in my country. What is corrective work order for those of you wondering? It's people who like did something bad in my country, and then as a result, rather than to be fined, they get punished to do like work, like civil work. And then she said this is what I am. And then she told me I can't get my house with this. When I was young, green used to be my favorite color, and then it no longer became my favorite color. It became purple. But yeah. It's very bright looking. No, but then I also bought this shirt somewhere in the middle of the street. There was like a vending machine that sold shirts, and I was like, what is this vending machine doing here? And then I realized it sold the cheapest shirts I've ever seen in my country. Like, if you know what Singapore dollars is, the shirt cost $4, which is probably the shirt cost of some of your own countries, like in Indonesia, Vietnam, or Thailand. But like, shirts do not cost that in Singapore. I was so surprised. I was like, is this a scam? But then I bought it, and I'm like, I guess I'm wearing it now, but maybe they have my bank details or something, and then like I'm gonna get scammed of my money in like 1 month's time. But I pay it. Felt worth it. So yeah. Must do more IS streams. Bro, I need to do way more streams of like everything. It's tough being a content creator. I mean, I would love if my content can only be to stream, but it's not easy to do that. I stream. I already put what is that? I already put the list of my dates of streams. It's just that I'm warning you guys that today I might be late because I decided I'll work out in the night instead. If I can stream and play games all the time, it'd be lovely. But yeah, you have to make videos. Okay. What are the important dates for AK? Let's make it a simple video, like a really, really simple, straightforward video. And I think it's just helpful. People would love to listen to this. I mean, Wang and Chen banner will be big, right? And I think Keltsit and Closure banner, like people want to know when these banners are. I think these are the only banners that people are caring about. No, I'm not gonna mention Nasty Entity. I'm not gonna mention Dimitri. I'm not gonna mention Zima Alter. Yeah, we're talking like Omega dates because people are saving pools for them. And then this one is selected ticket, right? For people to save money for. The selected ticket, does it go up to Tragodia? I want to know what the selected ticket go up to. Let me see, Events. It's just global. I want to see CN. Why can't I see CN? Is it not coming? How do I see? Where does it go up to? Mantra. What does that mean? There will be Tragodia, yes, but like, bro, in 6 months you can buy up to Mantra is huge. Yeah, that's why I said it's an important date. That's the kernel one. No kernel selector. It cannot be what? Not for real, sir. They didn't have kernel. Hmm? Weird. Why? Did they just forgot to, as in, did the wiki forgot to put it in? It's the first time you see this man live. Is this my true personality? What does that mean? What does that mean for my future?
Inauthentic cookie cutter.
The non-noisy person who's streaming. Liao, do they really not sell the blue ticket? Eat. Hello, Shiraori. Some of you have beautiful names. I hate how Wiki cannot arrange by date of like operator release. It would have been so convenient if they did that, but it's arranged alphabetically for whatever reason. For easy searching, but still, I would much prefer if they had a date. Yeah, screw it lah. I'll just talk about the top operator. Check A-Ship. Is A-Ship even updated? I don't even think A-Ship is updated. Do I want to post the pic of the permit ops somewhere on Discord? Oh, is it because you're playing CN? Oh, actually, yeah, why not? Why not? You can send me. Hey, that's convenient. Thank you. I don't play CN. What other major deeds are there in AK? How about video on 4 or 5 stars that new players should build? Not a lot, eh. I'll see. I think the important date would be IS7 and IS and RA3 because people care about it. Because the speculation would be that one of it would be released in our February period and the other one would be released in our March period. Here's the new A-Ship. Oh my god, there's a new A-Ship. Yeah, do people even play the game mode? Well, some people care heavily about this and some people care heavily about this. So the fact that they're coming back is a good thing. Like, in terms of, are there other important dates that people need to care about? I don't think so now, is there? There might be a selected ticket that people need to care about, which is during this. Because I think this one has the 3 operator in 1 ticket. But it might change for EN, I think. Is there? I'm not seeing it though. Is there? Maybe not. We posted AKCN channel. Thank you. Oh, it's my fan spinning without the fan noise. It's called noise cancellation. You posted in the AKCN channel, but why don't I see it? Why don't I see it? AK chat. Oh. Wow, Colonel's so big now. Ooh, Colonel's crowded. Colonel is crowded. Oh, wait, and PC client. Fuck me. Okay, we got all the important dates, guys. That's what we need to know. Which just so happened that PC client is with Wang and Chen Outer Banner. In this case, I should just write 3 important dates. So yeah. HWIC just said I was brushed aside. Brother, are you paying attention to the stream? I answered you why the fan noise is not there. Oh, these viewers. Oh, Cookie is not listening to me. Cookie didn't read my comment and answer me. Fucker, I just answered you 5 minutes ago. Maybe the guy's not even like watching the stream on time, you know. Now he says Cookie is bullying me. Yeah. Is it 3 important dates? It is, right? I think it is. Okay, I need to reference when did we get Yu's event last year. Was it Yu that we just got? Yeah, Yu's event last year. I need to check that. That is very likely the date for this year. Likely in the middle of July. And then afterwards referencing to last year again. The date of no. The date of dissociative combination would be no, it's not dissociative, it's mass travel. We should get the exact same date this year for these 2 anniversary and half NF events. This is selected ticket in 6 months. Wow. Wow. $30. Save your money now. Yeah, payable endgame. Yeah, $30 for broken character is oof. Alright. Do I want you guys in the video? I think you guys can be in the video. Maybe you guys are not in the video. Rare time that I don't have chat on the video. By YouTube. Ominously huge cookie. Imagine, it's so intimidating when I fill up like near half of a person's screen. This is like 1/3 of a person's screen. My forehead is good canvas material. I know. What would you like to draw on this thing? Alright. Yeah. Mm. Maybe on top of my head. Damn. Okay. Up there. Okay. Can I do this video in a one-take fashion? I wonder if I can pull it off. If I can pull it off, wow, Kev will have an easy life to edit the video. Okay. Recently, I made a video to tell you guys the schedule of Arknights in 2026. If you haven't watched this video, you can go watch it after watching this. It's only 9 minutes for you to take a look at it. So, but this... Oh, wait. Fuck. Okay, redo. Okay, one take, try. Try to not stop. If I stop, it's whatever. I'm not gonna hurt myself for it. Recently, I made a video on my YouTube channel telling you guys the schedule of Arknights in 2026, telling you all the banners and events to expect. It's only a 9-minute watch. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it after this. But for this one, I'm going to give you a condensed version of just 3 important dates that you want to know in terms of what banner to save for, which are the biggest things that you need to look out. So, let's tell you what the first date is going to be. Starting off with mentioning the PC client. So with the recent stream that we have on JP showing the Silver Ash banner and also Premier League's Outer, I saw lots of people talking about the fact that we haven't seen PC Client. And people are even barraging the CN stream and saying PC Client for Global when? Well, it should happen for us in Global because there's already preparations being made. This happened just a few months ago, where if you check out your account in Arknights and you see the bind options, you may have not noticed that Steam is actually there. So it kind of states that it's bound to happen soon enough. It's just a matter of when. Now, the official PC client has already existed in the CN server, but that got added during the Wang event. So the Wang event that features both him and Chen, the Dawn Streaker, that is going to be the time that we should be getting the PC client. Hopefully not delayed. We have to see if Yosta has done all the preparation works and is ready to do a big, glorious bang. I do think that this is going to be a humongous date because lots of people who want to try AK have been refusing to because they don't want to download emulators, they don't play on their phone, and they're waiting to see an official one. And if that were the case, it's exciting because it seems really likely that we're going to be seeing the game on Steam. So that's going to be great. I do think that there's going to be an option for you to get it not from the Steam client and maybe from like a launcher itself. That's also going to be pretty good. So look forward to that when it happens. Now, when is the Wang and Chen Dawn Streaker banner? That is going to happen during this point in time. So let's take a look at the events of last year, and you can see that for such is the joy of Aurelian, that Yu's banner, this happened on 17th July. It is very likely that it's going to be the same date this year without any push forward or backwards. So that means in the middle of July, you are going to see Wang and Chen. And that is probably the banner that you guys are going to care about. Because I know that some of you are going to mention, hey, Cookie, Nasty banner, TT banner, you're not going to talk about that. Well, I don't consider those an important date because lots of people are probably going to skip those banners since they're not exactly crucial 6 stars that you must own. I'm going to have a video soon enough to tell you guys my opinions of the various upcoming 6 stars. But Wang and Chen, those are pretty meta units, right? They are very powerful, especially Wang himself, that I call him another 7-star of the game. The original 7-star is probably going to be Trogodia. Imagine the 7 stars of these games are dominated by the males of Arknights. But howsoever it is, you might be saving your pools towards that banner itself as a free-to-play player, as a new player, and you're thinking whether you can reach 300 pools or not. To sort of tell you the way that it goes in AK, usually from what I hear for free-to-play players, they do need to skip a lot of banners and up to like 6 months. So if you just join during the Silver Ash event and you're going into Wang, you probably won't get 300 pools. You might be around 100 to 150. So just take note that you might be relying on your luck. It's not all the time you need to reach 300 pools anyways, because those are really unlucky scenarios, but it can happen to some of you. So I'm not saying that definitely you'll get Wang, but I hope that you guys will win. And if you are skipping on that as well because you're going for the next major event banner afterwards, so this also means that you're skipping Dimitri and Zima Outer, that might be because you have Keltsit Outer Enclosure on your mind. So that comes with chapter 17 and it's considered CN's anniversary, but for us, that's going to be our quarter 6.75 anniversary for global. So if you want to see the dates for that, we're going to be matching it together with when Masses Travel happened in global. So it happened for 14 October. Again, probably no pushback forward or backwards for us. So middle of October is when you expect to see Keltsit Enclosure happen into the global space. Very, very exciting occasion because that comes with a selector ticket that is free for everybody. There are 8 operators, 1 of every class that you can find. Of course, I'll tell you guys what I think is the best to pick when we're closer to that time period. It's an insanely good gift. There is also going to be a monthly card for free during that time, but I think they will push that reward into our anniversary. Same for the selected ticket. It might not appear then, and it might be our anniversary reward instead. We'll see what they do in terms of the arrangement for global, but definitely expect to see those things. But while you are anticipating to use your 300 pools to get those 2 sorry significant characters and the very exciting closure that you've seen for 7 years of AK, the big thing to mention is that there is going to be very worthy selector tickets. So we saw it during the Silver Ash event where there is the standard selector ticket for you to buy the newer operators. Choose one, don't need to gacha, they can enter your account. And then there's also the kernel version where you can choose from the set of older operators. This is going to happen again for the global server in 6 months' time. It's very worthy for you to spend 30 USD. So now is the time that I'm telling you to save your money so that you can prep for it. Because let me show you who you can get in those tickets, okay? So for kernel ticket, it's more familiar to you guys because there isn't too much of like new operators being added. They're still from year 0 to year 3. So you have the following operators that you see on the screen over here. Again, QB is going to be a pretty good pick. You've got Ifrit, that's fun. There's Silver Ash, Aya to help your account. Then there's even more people that you can see over here. Golden Glow is sitting right there. There's Tons to help you, Mudrock to help you. And then finally, it ends off on this final 2 rows that you see here. Okay, so this is what the kernel ticket will offer. Again, 10 standard ticket pools. There's also 10 kernel pools. And then together with 1 operator of your choice. But then let me show you the standard ticket, that golden selector ticket that you can buy. Okay, look at the operators that they have here. So they're going from year 4 up to the banner that features Mantra. So the operators, oh shit, I just realized I'm blocking the screen. Okay, I had to refilm that part. I cannot be here. It's okay. It was a good one take for a large part of the video. Let me see what I scrambled at or like what I stopped at, and then film from there.
Recently, I made a video on my YouTube channel telling you guys the schedule of Arknights in 2026, telling you all the banners and events to expect. It's only a 9-minute watch. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it after this. But for this one, I'm going to give you a condensed. October is 7 years of AK. The big thing to mention is that there is going to be very worthy selector tickets. So we saw it during the Silver Ash event, where there is the standard selector ticket for you to buy in those tickets. Okay, so for Kernel ticket, it's more.
Okay, so for Kernel ticket, go from there.
So for Kernel ticket, it's going to be more familiar to you guys because there isn't much new operators being added. It's still the standard year 0 to year 3 selection. So you have Keltsid that's really good. There's KOB over there, Gnosis with his IS mod, familiar Ayer, Silver Ash, and then there's another page for you guys to take a look at. Again, got good Surtur, Suzerain, Golden Glow, Mudrock, Taunts, all these goodies, and then the final 2 rows as well, with just a few new faces for you to select from. Again, 30 USD, pretty worthwhile. You get 10 standard pools, 10 kernel pools, and then also 1 operator of your choice within this selection. But then, let me show you the actual crazy one, which is right after this. So this is the golden selector ticket. Get 1 operator of your choice along with 10 standard pools. Look at this. There's Tragodia within this one. So the banners go all the way up until Mantra. So insane 6 stars for you to pick. There's Leizi Outer that sits over there. You also have Interlekia that is pretty good to use. Then following down into the next row, Innes is going to be great. Chilpai is going to be awesome. Narantuya, Upenius, Logos, Escalon, Lemuel, Monster, Haruka, Mantra, Necres, Nymph, Ray, Dagon. Holy! Like, it is absolutely worth for you to be spending 30 USD into this one. Like, I don't tend to tell people that you have to buy stuff in AK because you can totally play it free to play. But if you want to enhance your experience, skip all that gacha pooling misery that you have, it's so much more worth to just put your money not into buying more gacha pools, but just directly buy the character that you want. So prep out for this particular standard selector ticket, and that way you'll be really, really happy. It comes in 6 months' time. As I've mentioned, it's going to be during mid-October that you shall see this occur in AK. Then, for ourselves, okay, wait, I'll stop from there. Let's break up the video. Pretty good. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good video that people will want to watch. Yeah, we get IS-7 and RA3 this year. For some reason, my brain thought it was next year. But no, it's this year. Oh my god, it's going to be our Christmas present. So anyways, the biggest dates that you definitely want to know are those 2 limited banners. Of course, there's still going to be the global anniversary, but we have no idea what that event is going to be. That's going to be during the middle of January, and we'll have to wait in 3 months to see what CN shows us. Those banners that you see in between, I don't think it's going to be much of your concern unless you really care about those characters and want to add them to your roster. Again, there's going to be a video to detail how I feel to the upcoming operators. Look forward to that. But final thing that you will want to know is in terms of gameplay. Because I know that there's a huge lot of you who loves integrated strategies, and also another lot that has been waiting for the expansion of Reclamation Algorithm. So those 2 game modes are going to receive brand new seasons, RA very long anticipated for now. So the speculated date for when RA3 is going to appear is going to be in the month of November. So there's a chance that it might be a swapperoo, and maybe it's going to be IS-7 first, but RA3 at least rumored is November period for us. And then for IS-7, which is super hyped because of all that brand new map layout, completely different way of experiencing IS, that's going to happen in December. And it's very likely going to be like a Christmas present for us. Imagine playing all that cosmic horror in Christmas. Perfect way to celebrate it. So I'm very much looking forward to those 2 game modes. I've already made videos for the 2 videos I've already made videos to explain how the gameplay will work in those 2 new versions. You can go and watch them right after this, and that's what you need to know for this year. For now, there is going to be a bit of a chill time in AK, but very soon it's all going to ramp up and all the big events with good gameplay will hit you right in the face. I'm so happy for the state of Arknights in this year. Looking forward to all the content, and I hope that you guys have now noted when you should be tuning into AK. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. See you in another one. Bye-bye. And right, yeah, I think you're listening to me while I'm filming. Quite easy video.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll take too long for you to edit. Because like there's very little for you to overlay as well. Since I put most of the stuff in.
Gonna do a one take on my edit as well.
Let me see if I want to squeeze in one more. You want to call going to a forest with a black flow pandemic a Christmas present? Yeah, it is a Christmas present. Hey, this HWIC guy like watching in time with my stream, or are you behind? You sound like you're behind, but I think you're not. Can you put the operator names on the screen? No, it's fine. You can watch my other videos that shows the operator name on the screen. You don't have to watch this video because I have videos that I detail, like especially the best and worst video that I made. That's a good one for you guys to watch. Do I want to film the date month video now? Or do I want to film the NT and AI art? If I want to talk about NT and AI art now, I should be a bit more organized. I should plan it with you guys. And you guys can be on the video. Let me see. What's the structure of what I want to say if I filmed it? I also want to like link. Does anyone have like Twitter links of the debates that people have? I know there are very big links that there were very big debates. Yeah. Just brush aside. I just answered him 1 minute ago. Stop saying someone's brushed aside. It gets worse when there's a lot more people in the stream sometimes. That yes, I might rush people aside, especially like during anniversary live streams. When there's like 1,000 people watching at the same time. Oh my god, I cannot keep up with comments. I need to find the whole like NT-AI art thing. Let me see if I can. Ooh. Actually, this is a really good starting point for the video. I should start talking after reading this. Because this person opened up the question and I can answer it based on the question. Okay. Shall we discuss? All right. Video time, friends. Let's do this. Why do I want to talk about this? I've always wanted to talk about AI art. It just so happened that a game is getting blasted for it. So it at least gives me a starting point. You know what I mean? Like, at least I've always wanted to make a video about AI art. Alright. You all can say hi YouTube if you like. But yeah. Okay, guys, I don't even play Neverness to Everness, but I've been seeing this go around on my Twitter page about people saying that NT is using AI art. And I think I have some opinions towards it, but I found another Reddit thread that shows it as well. So these are some of the images that happens in the game. So it's got the movie poster onto it. Then it's got more of the references of the characters, and you can see all those like people over there. Yeah, they look pretty AI generated. Even more so another movie reference, and yeah, those are the images. So let's see what this person is saying here. I'm really not here to encourage that we don't post the game, and I know that AI is much more normalized in China. I just thought to make this post because I feel it's possible to have conversation around AI use that goes beyond everyone uses AI these days, nothing we can do about it. And I believe that we can criticize and hold accountable games we otherwise enjoy. So how do you feel about it? Has it and will it affect your immersion or experience of the game at all? From what I know, NT doesn't use AI for its character designs, which is basically what people have been discussing. Like NT also made a statement that says that they don't use AI to create their character models and launch and put it all up. But they don't admit as to whether or not they are using it for their environmental stuff. So it is present for atmospheric things like in the images above. Well, the thing is, because NT doesn't say if they're using the AI art for these things, we do not actually have a confirmation, but we can only guess and assume. Since they didn't deny, then maybe there is a chance that they are using AI art and it's not drawn by an actual artist. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I think I've always long had an opinion as to what I perceive to AI art, and I'm just going to start off by saying that I don't like AI art. Like, I actually despise AI art. I think AI in the form of creative content is pretty annoying, especially when it comes to like even doing YouTube at times. People use AI art or even AI tools in order to make their videos. And nowadays, the larger audience of people in the online space are succumbing to the fact that they don't recognize what is AI anymore and they just accept whatever that they see. I have a little experience that I had recently where for some reason one fine night I wanted to like watch videos of penguins and huskies because I'm just interested in the cute animals. So I was watching this compilation video on YouTube of like 50 huskies or something. And then when I watched it for quite a while, only about a quarter way through the video or halfway that I stopped myself and then started thinking, this video was posted just within the recent year. And I'm staring at the video and thinking, there's a chance that a bigger proportion of what I'm watching right now isn't real. And the problem is because it isn't real, I don't know that. Like, I couldn't sense if it's AI generated or not. So afterwards, I had to like stop the video. I paused. I changed into another video that I saw was posted 7 years ago. And I'm like, at least at this point in time of my life, I remember that the videos were all homemade and legitimate huskies doing stuff, So the thing is, AI art and generated content is so prevalent to our lives. And right now, we are at a state where we can tell what is AI generated and what is not. At least some people claim that they can do so. But I need to unfortunately put it that I'm pretty afraid because I do think that we are going to approach a phase of our life where we actually don't know if certain things are AI generated. And if the companies that create them don't tell us that they did it, like it's just gonna be something that we live in ignorance and never actually find out. Like even if someone whistle blows, you're gonna be like, oh wait, I absolutely didn't know. I just got absolutely bamboozled by it. But this is not me to say that we should be comfortable with AI art after all, because one of the things that I feel towards AI art is some people don't use it as appropriately as I would hope for them to do. So there are people who consider themselves artists, and very highly and proudly so, and they do that while being a very prevalent user of AI. So basically, these are AI artists calling themselves true artists, and I don't think that is in any way accurate at all, because in order for you to do art, you do need to know the concept of drawing. You do need to know the concepts of coloring and all that sort of hard work in ideating. And I do think that it just puts a stain on actual people who have taken classes and multiple hours, days of their lives in order to perfect their own craft. And yet AI art is kind of like shortening everything for them. But yet at the same time, as what that Reddit user has put, it's unfortunately not possible for us to just push away AI and say, delete all AI, AI doesn't deserve a place in this world, because the unfortunate circumstance is that AI isn't exactly unhelpful to the way that things are. AI has hit the point where it does save people time and money. And when you have a whole capitalistic world and everybody needs to find ways to make money as fast as possible, if for some people it means for their survival and this is the way that they do so, who are we to say that what they're doing is wrong per se? Now, there are certain industries where when they use generated content, I am on the standpoint that I cannot fault them for using it. Like, for instance, I'll give the sort of example of a restaurant, right? If you have a restaurant that's trying to decorate their place, whether it's the interior design or the posters or the pictures that they want to put forth, and they feel that rather than to buy actual pieces, for some reason, to save costs and whatnot, they decided we're going to have generated artworks that we can just put all over the place in order to, be something nice for our customers to look at. I'm on the standpoint that I kind of can't be bothered that they did that, because in any case, when you go to a restaurant, the whole purpose of you being there is to eat delicious food, right? All those things about the designs and whatnot, they are pretty much secondary to your experience. Of course, if you really are a big hater of AI, which I kind of am as well, it's going to be a little bit irky to you, like, oh, I'm looking at AI while I'm eating my noodles, that kind of thing. But even so, like, it's not something that I will say it's terrible, because people need to kind of be more empathetic about it as well, where for such companies, rental costs, ingredient costs, all the extra things that they need to consider can be so high. And the idea of putting way more money to be charged by certain artists that may even ask for a very high price, that's just not their priority as a restaurant, So to me, for such industries, I find that it's okay if that's what they need to do. But for other people, like for example, people in a marketing company where they need to do ads for people to watch, and in this case, creative industries in the form of games, right? Artwork is the primary thing that they need to care about in order to deliver their product. In this case, that's where I do agree that I will feel a little bit more sour that, hey, this is a game that I want to admire the art, but yet at the same time, this is what they're doing within the place. Now, this doesn't also mean that I'm saying that game companies don't this doesn't mean that I'm saying that game companies are not allowed to use AI art or generated tools, because to me, these items are meant to help speed up the process of what they are doing. Now, I find that the prevalence of AI art isn't necessarily any different from what artists have been doing in the past many, many years and how problems have arisen. So, a lot of people have pointed out that generated content can be very unethical because the sources that they use to train on are often stolen art pieces from other artists that have already done this stuff. They take all their pieces, throw it into an algorithm, train the algorithm, and let it be able to churn out even more stuff. And as a result, people can then compare and realize, hey, maybe this looks very similar to an older piece. However, to me, this isn't very different from the past, because if you think about artists who are drawing maybe a character and trying to figure out what outfit they want to wear, what hairstyle they want to use, sometimes they might think of it off their head. But other times, if they wanted to get inspiration, the way that they do so is to perhaps do a Google search, to go on Pinterest, to go on Instagram, in order to find those very specific prompts and characters that they want. It's going to be more time consuming because they will be sourcing through as many images as possible to get to the idea that they want, and then mix and mash, and then create the item that they want to produce as their artwork. But when it comes to generated content, where people have the prompts being placed in, and then it takes the artwork from these places, you got to understand that it's kind of not exactly very different from the idea that we search for, artworks on Google. Because after all, we're looking at the same copyrighted content. Generated content ends up like, pulling everything in, mishmashing into what looks like its own product. Now, the thing is, it saves a lot of people time in terms of ideating stuff, right? And artists can perhaps only think of like 5 versions or 10 versions of what they want to draw. But if the use of generated content lets them have 200 ideas on the table, it's really helpful for them to at least be picking out what's the exact one that is closer to what they wanted to achieve. So what I'm trying to say here is, I think a lot of people are also upset with Neverness, with the idea that, hey, let's just assume that the assets are actually not generated, right? And instead, there is an actual artist that draws them. People don't like the fact that there are AI tools that they perhaps have used in their company in order to arrive at that drawing. But there is a part of me that says, I find that is a level of acceptance that I would be okay with, despite being someone who doesn't like AI generated stuff. Because at the end of the day, just like how ChatGPT has been helping people to write their essays, you have Claude Code, who's helping programmers to reduce their time of coding from 5 hours into 10 minutes. Generative art tools are there to also help quicken the time and the process that artists may take in order to arrive at what they want. So to me, in that case, AI should be used as a tool, but not as a product. It's fine if you feel that in order to survive in your current industry, that is what you need to take, because it's just unfortunate, right? All the companies out there are all leveraging on AI one way or another. It's even perplexes me right now that I've attended various concerts and programs, and I've been told at the end of the program that the music that's being used in this event were actually all AI generated music. And I'm just there like, I wouldn't have known if you didn't tell me. It just happens. These people are all out there trying to save cost and time. Big artists nowadays, like artists that you follow perhaps, are even trying to use AI tools. And they don't have to publicly declare that they do it. They would be thinking to themselves that people are going to deplore them for using it. But yet, it's helping them, So what I mean to say is, I think there's a certain line that I would personally draw in terms of my acceptance to where AI can be when it comes to the form of games. But if, let's say, Neverness were to actually have directly generated assets as what the Reddit user tries to put, that these images are just plonk and play, of course I wouldn't really respect it. And in this case, there was the part where they stated, do we have the sort of right to, go against the company and whatnot and maybe boycott them? To me, if you just don't like it and you feel that they are doing this, you have all your own individual right and power to just say, I'm not going to play this game. I mean, I'm also not playing Neverness to Everness myself. And is this one of the reasons why? Perhaps it's one of my own personal reasons why. But I'm not going to use this as a way to start an entire movement to tell people that, hey, don't play this game and whatnot. You just have your own personal customer choice in order to see that, there's AI here. And depending on how much you do not like it, just don't support it. It's just in a sense unfortunate that certain game industries may have to pursue this sort of outcome because they simply don't have the amount of budget in order to afford paying all of their artists. Things are getting more expensive everywhere, even in creative works. And there's that part of me that, slightly empathizes with the company of Neverness, because I do believe this is one of their first major games, and perhaps they just didn't have the budget to put it into such assets. It feels a little bit scummy, but if they have to do it, then why not, I guess. I just want to play it, since they didn't do it the way that I would hope that they do it, And in this case, hopefully in the future, if they value art even better, that they get actual people who can help to make those assets when they have a higher funding, because more people are actually trying out their game. Of course, it's funny that Neverness had this situation occur at the same time as when Arknights celebrated their 7th anniversary, and then at the very end of the Celtic music video, we saw the compilation of 100+ over variations of Celtic drawn by all their official artists. That was a spectacular thing for us to see. It goes to show why AK is such a loved game, such a loved community, because they cherish that sort of artwork. For myself personally as a content creator as well, I value creative works. I wish that everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm using is made by people with, you know, real hands, real hours that they put into their artwork. That's what I would want to keep supporting. If games were to do it, I'm not going. If games were to use generated content, I'm not going to fault them. You know, I'm just not going to play them. But if there are companies that can value artists, I am more inclined to want to support them myself. So that is my opinion towards this whole AI art matter. That yes, it is very much what the Reddit users said, that AI is all over, you know, we can't stop it. But people must understand you have your own ability to say what you want and what you do not want. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't use AI in your life. Know how to use it in order to help you in your procedures. And as I said, if you really cherish creativity, if you really cherish good work, then make sure that AI is never the end product, but instead just something to help assist in your life. So that is how I feel towards this particular situation. Let me know also how you all feel about this whole little debacle where NT is perhaps in one way or another using AI to support their processes. All right. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye. Is NT the one that made TOF? Are they? By the way, was what I say okay? Were you all fine? It's a bit rambly, but I hope my points were across. I mean, it's a very simple point. I kept rehashing it. That is like, just don't. I hate AI, but like, what are you gonna do about it? Just use it better and don't use it badly. And like, I know that AI can be unethical in terms of the way they train it, but it's also like, on a programmer's perspective, I look at it thinking, it's not as unethical as people think. I'm not saying it's not unethical, but it's not as severe as what people think. Because it isn't very different as to how things are in the real world. Oh, actually, I failed to add something to that conversation. I was gonna say that people take like Google images and whatnot, and then as a result, plagiarism still exists back then. You just disagree with me that we shouldn't be calling out. We actually should. It's normalized, but shouldn't be that normal. I agree, but I think that's the reason why I brought up Arknights. Because it's like, just support the people who are not normalizing it. Support the people who are not part of that wave. Actually, I think that's the same. Oh, actually, whatever I say could be in a bigger scale. Because, like, if you think about it, Facebook and Twitter are also people who are trying to normalize the shit out of AI. Yeah, I realize that the things I say could be even more weighty. Okay, let me listen to myself and let me think if there's better things that I want to say. Because you guys are right. It's not. I think there's better points that I can make. Okay, guys, I don't even play Neverness to Everness, but I've been seeing this
God,
go
I chat for
around
15 minutes.
on
That's
my
hell.
Twitter page about people saying that NT is using AI art. And I think I have some opinions towards it, but I found another Reddit thread that shows it as well. So these are some of the images that happens in the game. So it's got the movie poster onto it. Then it's got more of the references of the characters, and you can see all those like people over there. Yeah, they look pretty AI generated. Even more so another movie reference, and yeah, those are the images. So let's see what this person is saying here. I'm really not here to have an at least at this point in time of my life, I remember that the videos were all homemade and legitimate huskies doing stuff, you know. So the thing is, AI art and generated content is so prevalent to our lives, and right now we are at a state where we can tell what is AI generated and what is not. At least some people claim that they can do so. But I need to unfortunately put it that I'm pretty afraid, because I do think that we are going to approach a phase of our life where we actually don't know if certain things are AI generated. And if the companies that create them don't tell us that they did it, like it's just gonna be something that we live in ignorance and never actually find out. Like even if someone whistle blows, you're gonna be like, oh wait, I absolutely didn't know. I just got absolutely bamboozled by it. But this is not me to say that we should be comfortable with AI art after all, because one of the things that I feel towards AI art is some people don't use it as appropriately as I would hope for them to do. So there are people who consider themselves artists and very highly and proudly so, and they do that while being a very prevalent user of AI. So basically, these are
Use the word
AI
prevalent
artists
twice.
calling themselves true artists, and I don't think that is in any way accurate at all, because in order for you to do art, you do need to know the concept of drawing. You do need to know the concepts of coloring and all that sort of hard work in ideating. And I do think that it just puts a stain on actual people who have taken classes and multiple hours, days of their lives in order to perfect their own craft. And yet AI art is kind of like shortening everything for them. But yet at the same time, as what that Reddit user has put, it's unfortunately not possible for us to just push away AI and say delete all AI. AI doesn't deserve a place in this world, because the unfortunate circumstance is that AI isn't exactly unhelpful to the way that things are. AI has hit the point where it does save people time and money. And when you have a whole capitalistic world and everybody needs to find ways to make money as fast as possible, if for some people it means for their survival and this is the way that they do so, who are we to say that what they're doing is wrong per se? Now, there are certain industries where when they use generated content, I am on the standpoint that I cannot fault them for using it. Like for instance, I'll give the sort of example of a restaurant have arise. So a lot of people have pointed out that generated content can be very unethical
Yeah, I
because
skipped that.
the sources that they use to train on are often stolen art pieces
Okay, this is
from
probably the part I
other
want to add
artists that
something.
have already done these stuff. They take all their pieces, throw it into an algorithm, train the algorithm, and let it be able to churn out even more stuff. And as a result, people can then compare and realize, hey, maybe this looks very similar to it, in order to find those very specific prompts and characters that they want. It's going to be more time consuming because they will be sourcing through as many images as possible to get to the idea that they want, and then mix and mash and then create the item that they want to produce as their artwork. But when it comes to generated content where people have the prompts being placed in and then it takes the artwork from these places, you got to understand that it's kind of not exactly very different from the idea that we search for, artworks on Google, because after all, we're looking at the same copyrighted content. Generated content ends up like, pulling everything in, mishmashing into what looks like its own product. Now, the thing is, it saves a lot of people time in terms of ideating stuff, right? And artists can perhaps only think of like 5 versions or 10 versions of what they want to draw. But if the use of generated content lets them have 200 ideas on the table, it's really helpful for them to at least be picking out what's the exact one that is closer to what they wanted to achieve. So, what I'm trying to say here is, I think a lot of people are also upset with neverness. Helpful for them to at least be picking out what's the exact one that is closer to what they wanted to achieve.
Okay, I'm gonna add a filming part here. I'm gonna add something into this. Okay, so yeah, let me think of my point now. Oh, I need to think about how I want to structure this.
But other times, if they wanted to get inspiration, the way that they do so is to perhaps do a Google search, to go on Pinterest, to go on Instagram, in order to find those very specific prompts and characters that they want. It's going to be more time consuming because they will be sourcing through as many images as possible to get to the idea that they want, and then mix and mash where people have the pulling everything in, mishmashing into what looks like its own product. Now, the thing is, it saves a lot of people time in terms of ideating, pulling everything in, mishmashing into what looks like its own product. Helpful for them to at least be picking out what's the exact one that is close from the idea that we,
Okay,
pulling
no, I think
everything
I'm gonna
in, mishmashing into what
add it
looks
here.
like its own product. Now the thing is, when stop. I put my timestamp there. Okay. With generative content, sorry, when these generative tools just take everything in and then put it into one final product, does it cause a situation of plagiarism? Very highly, it probably will. But that's no different from people who have, done the normal way of taking ideas online on maybe a DeviantArt, a pixel picture, and tracing it, and then as a result cause a situation of plagiarism. Both instances, whether it's the old school method or the now new method of using a generative tool, have unethical situations that occur. So as a result, it's not exactly too different after all. Of course, it gets people very uncomfortable when all these AI tools are just taking people's artworks without permission. I don't even agree to that as well. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that the way that it arrives at the product isn't exactly too different from how we have been using, say, Google search to do what we do. But okay, so that is me trying to add something in. This is the first part of that video. So from here, let me try to link my statements. Where people have this can perhaps only think of to get to the idea that they want and then mix and mash and then create the item that they want to produce as their artwork, But when it comes to generated content, where people have the prompts being placed in and then it takes the artwork from these places, you gotta understand that it's kind of not exactly very different from the idea that we search for, artworks on Google. Because after all, we're looking at the same copyrighted content. Generated content ends up like, pulling everything in, mishmashing into what looks like its own product. And then continue into this video. When these generative tools just take everything in and then put it into one final product, does it cause a situation of plagiarism? Very highly, it probably will. But that's no different from people who have, done the normal way of taking ideas online on maybe a DeviantArt, a pixel picture, and tracing it, and then as a result cause a situation of plagiarism. Both instances, whether it's the old school method or the now new method of using a generative tool, have unethical situations that occur. So as a result, it's not exactly too different after all. Of course, it gets people very uncomfortable when all these AI tools are just taking people's artworks without permission. I don't even agree to that as well. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that the way that it arrives at the product isn't exactly too different from how we have been using, say, Google search to do what we do. But unfortunately, people, pulling everything in, mishmashing into what looks like its own product. Now the thing is, it saves a lot of people time in terms of ideating stuff, right? And artists can perhaps only think of like 5 versions or 10 versions of what they want to draw. But if the use of generated content lets them have 200 ideas on the table, it's really helpful for them to at least be picking out what's the exact one that is closer to what they wanted to achieve. So, okay. I think now I'm going to get to the part of like normalizing AI. I need to find a place to talk about it. And programs, and I've been told at the end of the program that the music that's being used in this event were actually all AI generated music, and I'm just there like, I wouldn't have known if you didn't tell me. It just happens. These people are all out there trying to save cost and time. Big artists nowadays, like artists that you follow perhaps, are even trying to use AI tools, and they don't have to publicly declare that they do it. They would be thinking to themselves that people are going to deplore them for using it, but yet it's helping them. So what I mean to say is, I think there's a certain line that I would personally draw in terms of my acceptance to where AI can be when it comes to the form of games. But if, let's say, Neverness were to actually have directly generated assets, as what the Reddit user tries to put, that these images are just actually just plonk and play, of course I wouldn't really respect it. And in this case, there was the part where they stated, do we have the sort of right to, go against the company and whatnot and maybe boycott them? To me, if you just don't like it and you feel that they are doing this, you have all your own individual right and power to just say, I'm not going to play this game. I mean, I'm also not playing Neverness to Everness myself. And is this one of the reasons why? Perhaps it's one of my own personal reasons why. But I'm not going to like use this as a way to start an entire movement to tell people that, hey, don't play this game and whatnot. You know, you just have your own personal customer choice in order to see that, oh, there's AI here. And depending on how much you do not like it, just don't support it. You know, it's just in a sense unfortunate that certain game industries may have to pursue this sort of outcome because they simply don't have the amount of budget in order to afford paying all of their artists. You know, things are getting more expensive everywhere, even in creative works. And there's that part of me that, you know, slightly empathizes with the company of Neverness because I do believe this is one of their first major games and perhaps they didn't have the budget to put it into such assets. You know, it feels a little bit scummy, but if they have to do it, then why not? I guess I'm just gonna play it since they didn't do it the way that I would hope that they do it. You know, and in this case, like hopefully in the future, if they value art even better, that they get actual people who can help to make those assets when they have a higher funding because more people are actually trying out their game. Of course, it's funny that Neverness had this situation occur at the same time as when Arknights celebrated their 7th anniversary, and then at the very end of the Celtic music video, we saw the compilation of 100+ over variations of Celtic drawn by all their official artists. That was a spectacular thing for us to see. It goes to show why AK is such a loved game, such a loved community, because they cherish that sort of artwork. For myself personally as a content creator as well, I value creative works. I wish that everything that everything that I'm using is made by people with, you know, real hands, real hours that they put into their artwork. That's what I would want to keep supporting. If games were to do it, I'm not going. If games were to use generated content, I'm not going to fault them. You know, I'm just not going to play them. But if there are companies that can value artists, I am more inclined to want to support them myself. So that is my opinion towards this whole. Okay, good. Let's add it there. That's a good place to add one clip. Generated content, I'm not going to fault them. You know, I'm just not going to play them. But if there are companies that can value artists, I am more inclined to want to support them myself. Okay. At this ending point of the video, some of you might get upset and say that, oh, my take is almost like trying to say that we should just accept and normalize AI. And I don't agree. I don't think that AI should be normalized in any way, but it is very scary to just see how major companies are all making waves with this, right? You have big Chinese tech companies and even other industries all regulating and saying that AI should be used in their processes. You have Facebook, Meta basically, or even X themselves, Twitter, that is so aggressive in their use of AI and trying to make that push out content to their regular viewers. But to me, the saving grace is that there are big companies out there that still cherishes the hard work of actual people. With the likes of Hypergriff, for example, who makes Arknights and Arknights Enfield and clearly loves art for themselves. To me, these better diamonds, hidden gems out there are the people that I want to support. I'm just a singular consumer. I can maybe start a whole riot and protest against these, but I just don't see that being something that's purposeful. At the very least, the bigger companies that are still supporting artists, to me, are the better ones that actually causes a movement against the wave and use of AI art. And if you can find all those people who are doing that sort of good job, then keep being a lover of them, you know, keep supporting them in what they do, and that is your way of contesting such instances of perhaps game companies that are pursuing the use of AI in their works. So, yeah, it's the end. I think the tying into AK is a bit much. Yeah, it feels like I'm selling them, but like what I'm trying to put forth is that there's that. You know, even before people in the comment section tell me that Enfield uses AI. Yeah, but it's because of the assets part, right? But like they use some parts of AI for like their website stuff, but I don't really give a shit. Their website stuff is like I don't even click in there that much. The in-game assets at least aren't doing that. So yeah, or even if they're doing that, good job in
hiding
At
it.
this ending point of the video, some of you might get upset and say that, oh, my take is almost like trying to say that we should just accept and normalize AI. And I don't agree. I don't think that AI should be normalized in any way, but it is very scary to just see how. But Cookie, wouldn't the difference be that without AI, artists would use images as reference to build their skill? There'll be less contentious use. No, I agree, but you just no when you say that, right, it becomes a cyclical argument. Where the cyclical argument is our world better off without AI? And my answer would be like, sure, but it's already here. What are you supposed to do about it? It's like when people say that oil is bad for our world because oil ruins our environment. Yeah, I agree, we should stop using oil. But like, we've reached a state of no return. Like, AI also kind of reached a state of no return. That because of that, it's learning how to embrace it. Major companies are all making waves with this, right? You have big Chinese tech companies and even other industries all regulating and saying that AI should be used in their processes. You have Facebook, Meta basically, or even X themselves, Twitter, that is so aggressive in their use of AI and trying to make that push out content to their regular viewers. But to me, the saving grace is that there are big companies out there that still cherishes the hard work of actual people. With the likes of Hypergraph, for example, who makes Arknights and Arknights Enfield and clearly loves art for themselves. To me, these better diamonds, hidden gems out there are the people that I want to support. I'm just a singular consumer. I can maybe start a whole riot and protest against these, but I just don't see that being something that's purposeful. At the very least, the bigger companies that are still supporting artists, to me, are the better ones that actually causes a movement against the wave and use of AI art. And if you can find all those people who are doing that sort of good job, then keep being a lover of them, keep supporting them in what they do, and that is your way of contesting such instances of perhaps game companies that are pursuing the use of AI in their works. So, hey, you know what? I'll add in the part to acknowledge that, hey, maybe Enfield is using generative content, but maybe it's just a race of who uses it the least now. I have to give the acknowledgement that sorry, refilm. I have to give the acknowledgement that Enfield might be using generative AI. There are videos and instances that people point out, oh, maybe this web asset is using it, but maybe it's just a arms race now. Who uses the least AI in the game industry? We shall see and calculate and find out. But hey, at the very least, I still sense that they love their artists, and that is what's important to me. No, don't mention that Enfield is using generative AI. Some people are going to point it out to me and say that I'm being unfair. I have to give the acknowledgement that Enfield might be using generative AI. There are videos and instances that people point out, oh, maybe this web asset is using it. But I don't know, chat, what do you think? Should I mention it or should I not mention it? If I mention it, it shows that I acknowledge. If I don't mention it, people are going to be like, oh, you're hiding the truth. Don't mention it. Don't sting the video. Oh, don't mention it. Okay. Mention it. Oh. But like, you guys know my actual take, what? Like, I'm not blind. Let's hide the truth. I think people argue about it in the comments though. Don't you think? Like the fact that I don't mention it, people are gonna be like, but Enfield use AI. But for reals, what? Like even when saying Enfield use AI, I guess you guys are getting the extended bonus clip, which is the thing is, if that's the case, the state of the game industry now is legitimately just arms race. Who uses AI the least? What I mentioned, actually, it's not even the game asset; it's a web asset, which I'm like, I can't give a shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna mention it. So lazy. If people fight in the comment, join the war. Okay? Join the war and see what happens. I assure you at least one person will do it. And I wonder what that will become. I wish that everything that I myself. So that is my opinion towards this whole AI art matter. That yes, it is very much what the Reddit users said, that AI is all over, we can't stop it. But interesting video, spicy, right? You think it'll be a fun one? It's gonna be disliked, I can tell you for sure. It's gonna be like a 80-20 ratio of a video. I can feel it. But like I've always wanted to talk about it. If it meant shooting myself, fuck it. Like I'm not saying that I hate AI. Sorry, I'm not saying that I'm a big supporter of AI. I'm just an acceptance of like I think there's a level that we can accept where AI is in our life. And if people are going to call me a neutral party, a centrist or something for being that kind of opinion, I can't be fucking bothered. Because I think if you're a mega hater of AI and like you cannot see a tinge of when AI is good, I think you're also a problem. And then if you're a mega supporter of AI and you cannot sense that what you are doing is bad, I think you're also a problem. Like we gotta acknowledge that it's a double-edged thing. And when is it good and when is it bad? The last thing is a pointless video. The video won't add much to the online discussion that people already have. I don't disagree if that's how you perceive it. Because yeah, I don't think I'm adding. No, I don't agree. I think I am adding some value because AI art isn't exactly omega discussed by everybody in the world. And I think some people have withheld opinions and they don't necessarily go to every Reddit forum they can find or like every online forum they can find to talk about it. And they also don't necessarily chat about it with their friends. So to have a video like this is to let people like have that sort of sudden like, oh, this guy's talking about it. Okay, let me hear what he says. Okay, maybe let me unlock my opinion. I don't think it's a bad video. Because it's not something that everyone always talks about. But it is very prevalent. It's a mega topic of our current century, decade. So yeah. And I'm glad I filmed it though. I finally did it because I said I was gonna do it. I said I was gonna film a video on AI art like months ago, probably at the start of this year. But then I finally pulled off. I pulled it off while leveraging on Neverness to Everness. Now everyone's gonna say I'm a scummy CC because I'm using Neverness to Everness success to make this video. No, I'm not. Are they successful? I genuinely do not know. I don't know how they're doing. My honest opinion of NTE, they're in a sea of sponsors where none of them are able to say anything bad about the game because they are all sponsored. Hot take! Hot freaking take! That's all I'm gonna say. NTE hater. I don't know. Like, are people genuinely liking NTE? I really want to find that out. I want to know, like, from the perspective of an NTE lover, why? Why do you like the game? Do any of you like NTE? I want to know why you like NTE. I want to, like, understand. You like NT, but why? Why? I want to know. Yeah, I'm done filming 2 videos, so that's very productive of me. Probably when I come back home later from my workout, I will film 1 more video. NT is feeling the gacha gap of Enfield. Because Enfield is kind of contentless. You think that's why? You think it's just convenience? NT gamer interview, YouTube. Oh wait, if that's the case, I should just watch the IGN video of Enfield, the design of the boss. I haven't watched it yet. You think it's just new shiny toy effect for NT? It takes you back to your days of playing GTA Online. I see. Oh, my friends like it. You don't see anything because you want to let them enjoy it. You don't like it personally. Aye. There's so many streamers on your followed that play NT, but I think they're all sponsored though. Like even the big content creators are all sponsored. You just like the character design. I see. That company endgame plan is to make cheap, low-paying phones, and all heavy computation is done on cloud server. Yeah. You tend to like car driving gameplay only. I see. It's just for people who never had the chance to play GTA. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I just think people who never had the GTA type of gameplay just never, can end up enjoying NT. No, but it's funny to see NT so heavily sponsored and use AI art. Oh, think about that. So yeah, we finished filming the video already, okay? My video had no spicy takes about NT. I'm being respectful of NT. You're looking at the post-credits of filming that video. Imagine putting all the money to the sponsorship but not the fucking art assets of the game. If they sponsor me, will I play NT? No. I don't bite every sponsor I get fed. IGN interview? Is IGN video good? Well, time for a watch party. IGN interview with our fellow It's good.
Epic. Let's go.
Oh, it's him. Oh, Ra.
Okay, you see that circle? You
That's my opening, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
He can
Okay,
speak
there we go.
English.
Okay. Yes.
Ra can speak English.
Really long one. Dodge.
I'm getting
Yeah,
cheated.
yes, nice.
I've learned the reality.
So satisfying.
Can he be part of the global live stream from now on?
Yeah. And use her skill, like battle skill, more to.
Holy shit, he's fluent.
Oh, you have to dodge this one first. Okay. Yeah. Second form.
Did you always know she was going to
He
turn
sounds
into
so
a dragon?
excited
Yeah.
to show his piece and work.
Do you want to see if you don't interpret this?
Don't. I've never.
That's
Okay.
a big damage.
That's a big one, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to see this big one? Try not to interrupt her.
Again?
See what
Okay.
happens. Ooh, here use your her big skill.
I think
to
I've dodged
use
this
her
the
big
whole
sword
time
Oh,
for now.
to
Oh, I
execute
didn't know
you.
that she'll just
that's
grab
what
you
the
like
sword is
that.
for.
Okay. I'm missing out on all the cool animations.
did I get her?
Oh, that was a good one.
Now I think the ultimate skill would come.
There's a silly bean on the right. Is that like a Chen bean?
No,
It looks like Chen.
my friends.
Ooh, you have also to dodge her like shocking waves. Something big is coming. Something big is coming. No.
I can't believe Ra is saying that. Someone need to clip that.
Oh, we are
okay.
teammates
That will be a
down, but it's
subscriber
okay.
notification
She's
from
really
now
weak
on.
right
We're really
now.
close.
Something big is coming.
Come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got her.
Still a joy to have watched this scene. It was a good one.
All right, now that we got Neferith taken care of, I want to dig into how this boss fight connects to Arknights Ensfield's larger approach to boss design and how combat
Ooh.
continues to evolve.
Big question.
Now, players
Is
who've
this
been
a
playing
prep
Arknights
question
Enfield
or is
have
this an
encountered
IGN
Neferith
question?
before, but they have not fought her. This is the first time she's been a boss fight.
So
It's
cute,
a
the
big deal
office.
both in terms of story and in terms of gameplay because you've got some new features here.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of an experience you wanted this to be for the player?
Yes, of course, sure. 像涅菲斯在我们之前的战斗中
He's
其实已经
converted.
出现过了，但是这是我
He's
们
back.
第一次的跟他进行一个非常正面的这么一个交锋，这是剧情的一个高潮。我们会把它拆成两个角度去考虑，一个是在它剧情方面的一个表现，另一个是在它战斗机制玩法上的一个表现。从剧情角度上来说，它因为是剧情的一个高潮嘛，我们希望整个 BOSS 的感觉是宏大的，有史诗感。
It was
所以
very
说我们
grand.
为它设计了非常多有标志性的一些技能，比如说它有一种我们叫做星象空间的一种能把时间
Yeah.
停止住的这么一
I
种
think
能力。
this mind space thing that they did, like this whole time stop thing, is so
通过时
cool.
间停止的能力来对
And
你
it
进行一次
feels
偷袭
like
必须要在这个
something that
时间内
shouldn't have
快速
happened
地
in a
进行一些
early
闪避
patch
然
of
后
the
我们还
game,
设计了
of
一
like
些像是
1.0.
它
Feels like it
可
should have
能
been like
如
a
果你没有及时去打
2.0
断它的话
or
它
even
可能会
3.0.
把时间停住，然后
So it
你
makes me
继续把
wonder,
它
like,
剑
if this is
戳入
what
你
they're
的
gonna
身体
do
把你撩
with
起
an
来，那
early
个我们
game
觉得
boss,
场面
what
非
would
常
the
的震
future
撼，我
game
们很
boss
喜欢
be?
这个技能。然后最后为了让这个东西达到一个最高潮，我们还设计了一个技能可以把你的队友全部停住，你需要一个个去拯救他们。我们觉得整个的场面非常的具有压迫感，是非常适合他最后高潮的一个部分。然后刚刚讲的第二点就是玩法机制上，我们原本想的是说，希望它和别的 BOSS 不太一样，我们不希望全程玩家都能够上去，能够一直攻击到它。所以最开始我们设计了让涅菲斯在一个平台上，然后你必须要通过多次的跳跃，可能能跳到这个平台上，最后去攻击它。但是我们实际自己做出来玩了一下之后，整体这个玩法比较缓慢，
Yes,
也
it
没有
will
特别
be very
多
slow.
乐趣在里面。
Okay,
后面就
okay.
重
It's
新
interesting to
经历
hear
了
that that
一
might have been the
个
first
我们
concept.
想到了一个全新的一个
So they went with the
因为这个
jumping
地方是
idea.
和我们另一个主要的角色庄方怡
It's a good change of idea. Yeah, I would have much preferred. So I would assume that the whole platform thing is like the earlier sequence when you were jumping from platform to platform when navigating the world. Maybe that's how they would have did the boss fight, but they didn't do it.
打断这个 boss。这个想法听起来虽然很简单，但是我们实际上手之后，感觉完成这个操作其实有一种非常让人愉悦的一种快感。
So you introduce a lot of new stuff, but you're leaving out maybe the biggest one, which is that Neferith has an epic transformation about
you
halfway
are
through the
right,
fight.
yeah.
She's got a second form. Tell us a little bit
Yes.
about the learning curve there and how you want players to adapt and approach the situation.
It's
OK, sure.
interesting how Arknights has so many bosses with second phase. By the way, if you think about like the AK bosses and even third phase, that makes me wonder like if they were 3D
不希望
animated,
玩
what
家
would they
在
have done
学
for
习了
them?
一堆比较繁杂的规则之后，需要去记住很多规则，然后才能去玩这个 BOSS 战。第二点，我们认为很重要的是，我们的 BOSS 机制必须要有简单到复的啦。就拿刚刚讲的第一点来说，必须让玩家在进去游戏的后的第一次必须要进行一个大跳加下 P
啊
教
OK
学操作，然后
Just to
我们也
quickly
会
teach
给
them
BOSS 本身在释放类似技能的时候，给它加上一个我们游戏中特别的一种可以打断的红圈，来进一步提示玩家说这个时候你应该用攻击去打断它了。像到了他刚刚第二个阶段之后，我们就会稍微把它的难度往上面再提一点，比如说
Yeah.
他会更加频繁的使用一些吼叫类的技能，把玩家全部推到很远的地方。这样玩家需要靠近它的路程会更加的艰难，然后它还会
So
在第二
range
阶段
units are
有一个
better?
会在空中来回这样吐息的这么一个技能。这个阶段其实是可以利用刚刚的大跳加下 P 把它打下来的，但是它要求玩家有更精准的预判。对，然后我们
Yeah,
设计
yeah,
完
yeah.
之后，确实
It
也
does.
做了很多的测试，我们尝试去优化这里面的一些体验。比如说刚刚讲的第二阶段那个来回龙吐息的那个阶段，其实刚开始它只会起飞，然后吐一次，然后就结束了。然后后面我们发现说， 虽然玩家很有意愿要去在空中打导弹，但每当玩家看到它起飞过来的时候，已经来不及了。后面我们想了一想，我们好像还可以把这个来回
So I
多做
appreciate
几
that
次，这样的
this
话
whole
玩家
back and forth.
既
It
会
does make
感
it
受到
very
更大
fun.
的来自它
But
的
I think
空
when
间
I
的压
played
力，
it,
也有
I
更多
said
的
that
时间
it's a
反
little
映
bit
出
too
来说我
similar
在
to
每一
Triangulous.
次想要去打断。
Because
所以
Triangulous
说
has the
通
exact
过
same
刚刚的一
gameplay
些
of like
玩法上的设
lasering
计，我
down
们有机会
3
去
times.
打磨玩家在这边
So
对于
it does
机制
felt like I
的
was
一
looking
些
at the
体验。
same attack sequence
Okay, so
in
beyond
just a
Nephris,
different
can you
skin.
tell us a little bit
So I
about
kind
how
of
the
hope
team
that they
at Griffon
switch it
thinks
up in
about
terms of the
boss
future
fights as a
bosses
whole,
in-
and really,
instead of like
you know,
making
what
it
that player
look close.
experience
But I
needs
think that was
to
the
be.
only
我们
move
确
that I
实
was
也
bothered
希望
by.
不同的 BOSS 战能有给玩家带来完全不一样的体验。不同的 BOSS 的设计
This
我们
boss
会把
felt
它
very
拆成
Monster Hunter.
3个
It
方面来
did.
看。第一个可能
It
很
felt
容易
so
被玩家
good.
忽略啊，但是我们觉得很重要，其实是
Dragon
外观
bosses are
这个
just
boss
fun.
是大型的还是小型的，还是它是一个人形的，还是一个类似于怪物型的，或者是机械型的？这个对于我
I
们
mean, I
来
would
说
love
其实
if
非常
Enfield
重要因为
enemies
它会
just
涉及到
went
后续
very
你跟
Monster
boss 的很多
Hunter-esque.
交互
Not
方
all the
式
time,
比如
but
说像序章的一个
I think
boss，
frequently
因为它
enough to
很
feel
大
good.
所以说你的交互方式可能就会受限于它的一些部位。相反，如果一个 boss， 比如说它的外观特别的小，那么我们还会要反过来想办法说，让它不至于被玩家的队伍给淹没，有点看不清楚它的动作。所以说，外观可能是我们第一个首先就要考虑的一个点。那第二点，其实我们认为是 BOSS 在剧情中的核心表现力。我们这么讲，这个包括了整个 BOSS 的，就是它的动作设计、特效设计以及类似于音频设计这样的很多部分。你可以想象，其实没有玩家会想去跟一个看起来不够酷的 BOSS 去作战
Yeah, yeah.
所以在每个 BOSS 的设计中，我们都需要不停地寻找它真正在剧情中表现以及它能力上的核心的一个亮点是什么。像我们之前就有一
For
个
reals though,
BOSS 白垩接位，
the
它有一个很特别的能
3D
力，是
genre
把
for
自己的肢体
Hypergraph
全部都可以变
is
成
so new
武
to
器
them
所以
that
在
I
我们
think
的
it
动作和特
does
效
take a
设
lot
计
for
上，我
them
们一
to
定会去
figure out
强调
what's
它在
gonna
不同的
work
技能招式之间
and
一
what
定要多用到
skills they
不同的
have
武器
in their
用这种
company
一
to
招一式
deliver.
的方式和玩家去比较
Marble and
再
Globoray
比
was a
如像
great
涅菲斯这样，
boss as
它有
well.
一个时间停止的这么一个能力
I
所以
just
说我
hope
们一
that
定
they
会
will
去
keep
设计
delivering
很多
on
技能以
Omega
及特效表
excitements.
现，跟这个东西是非常强相关的。
And it's good to see
所
that
有
they
做
think
的
about
这
a
些
lot of
工作，其实
parts.
都是为了去凸显一个 BOSS 的独特性和它整体给玩家带来的史诗感的这么一种感觉。第三点才会来到机制层面的这么一个设计。机制意味着我们是否能从 BOSS 的动作表现中，玩家找到足够多的挑战，以及这种挑战是否对玩家来说是有趣的。针对这些的话，我们会开动我们的脑筋，去把我们玩过的好的东西，尝试把它融合到这个
The great
boss
thing
战
that
里
I'm
面
listening
比如说我们
from
之
this
前有一个
interview
叫做
is that
软
they
一的
have a
boss，
lot
它
of
就要求玩家利用场上的一些能量来
reiteration
击败这个 boss。
So like
这个一般
they don't
是
just immediately have a
做
boss
整个
idea,
boss 战设
take
计
it from
中
the
最有
first
趣的一
draft
个部分。
So
and
a boss
send it.
fight needs to be a big,
And
exciting thing for players, but it also needs to
They
be
run
mechanically
through a
different.
lot
Can you
of
talk a little bit
tests to
about
figure out
finding that
what is the
balance
best thing
between
for a
just
player's
overall
experience, and I
spectacle,
think
but
that is
also
so appreciative.
mechanical challenge without it being too much in one way or the other.
其实，在刚开始的时候，我觉得我们还是犯过一些错误的。在我们的早期测试版本里面，我们尝试最早做了一个机制非常非常强，但是在它的外观和表现力上整体有所不足的这么一个 boss。我们原本对这个 boss 我们自己很有信心，但是我们给到玩家玩之后，反馈其实并不好。玩家反馈说这个 boss 好像好玩是有一定好玩的，但是它整体玩起来特别像玩一个解谜游戏。他说感觉其实在剧情里面，我是希望看到一个很大的场面，我希望有一个很高潮的剧情，但是这个 boss 并没有带给我这样的体验。
don't want to think.
boss 的时候也
Players don't want difficulty in this game.
现在做
I mean,
boss 战的时
that's
候
really how I
我们
feel
会
towards
优
the
先确
current
定
state of
它的
Enfield, though.
外观
I feel like
以及它
Enfield
整
needs
体
to
核心的一个表现
trying to figure out the
对我
first
们来
draw
说
for the game,
它有一
and
个
I
更好的
think it's
好玩的
perfectly
机制
fine. If
类
the
似于
larger audience
cherry on
wants
the top 的这种感觉
an aesthetic
所以说
experience,
拿
a
涅菲斯
visual
整场的战斗来
spectacle,
说
I'm
我觉得我们花的
okay.
精力可
But
能
I do
60%
believe that
到
there
70%
is a
是
good
它
way
的
to
核
balance
心的一
it,
个表现力
and that you can
它
have
真正
that
玩
while
法
still
的
having
那个部分我
difficulty.
们其实
So that's
是
kind of
想
why
办
like
法控制
I'm
到
okay that
类似
this is the
30% 的
first phase of
这
their
种体验
game,
我们觉得
but
这
I
样的
hope that
组
it will
合是目
transition
前我们
into
找
the
到我们觉得
hypergraph
比较好
flavor.
的这么一个
You know,
balance
the fact
Now,
that
this
they
is not
just say
news,
that
but
they have
Arknights
difficult
Enfield
stuff
is a
when
core
they
character
first
squad
started the
structure.
game.
Yeah, players have
That
gotten used to that.
feels nice
How
to
do you
me.
find
That
that
to say
is
that
the right
it
foundation?
can
Why is that
happen.
the right
It's
foundation
just,
to
I
begin?
guess,
Can you
in
tell
this
us a little
case, a
about
matter of when.
combat strategies and just how you're planning ahead for that and how you're approaching it in future updates.
Yes. 这个东西还经历了挺漫长的一个 个过程的。因为我们游戏一开始要做的核心的点，其实是在于一个箱庭的这么一个自由探索和一个工厂的这么基建的这2个东西上。在这种环境下，其实很难想象说我们在里面做一个回合制的，或者说是战棋的这么。
I mean, yeah, I want to feel a puzzle
但是在一
stage.
个3D 的即时游戏里面，
Arknights is
我们
full of
其
puzzle
实又
stages
希望说
that isn't just
它
like
保留像我们
bashing
前
your
作
units at them and
Arknights
actually
这样的
really
策略
thinking.
感
And I want to
在
feel that in
所以
Enfield
经
as
过
well.
很多次测 试
I
加
think
上
it's
我
so
们自己的
possible.
摸索，
Actually,
创造一
some
个
of the
我们自己
Unreal
所谓
Monument
的
stages
干
already
净
felt like
的
that, and I
RPG 的
think
玩法形式。
that
而
gives
私人小
me
队是我
some
们里
hope,
面
that
最
gives
重
me
要的
some
一个组
happiness.
成部分，其实代表了3个层面上的游戏设计。第一个其实是真的就是4人同屏的这个部分，这个会让整体你在各种行动时、战斗时都会带上你的队友，所以你看见他们跟你一起战斗，这个本身的画面感就会更强。
Yeah, one of
因为你4个人
the
同时在
special
场，所以
things
你也
about
不用
Enfield,
频繁的切换
I
你的
feel
角色，
that
你可以直
I
接
think some
的
people
控制
do
你的队友
appreciate
使用
seeing
他们
all
的技
four
能，这个会
characters
让整个
active at the
战斗
same
的
time.
节奏更加紧凑，
No-
更加
none
流
of the
畅。
other
第
games
二
are
点
doing that.
是资源的循环与转换吧。我们战斗系统拥有物理和法术的这2套机制，所以说每个角色都可以产出一定的我们叫做资源的东西，也可以消耗一定叫做，比如说我们游戏中常见的破防和类似于法术附着，其实都是
Oh, they say that there's
一种资源的形式。
vulnerability
有
and
这样的一
stuff,
种
but
资源形
it's
式的
not
话，其实
there
我们的
yet.
配对会非常的自由。然后这个是我们认为我们游戏在战斗前的组队策略中最重要的一个部分第3点就是我们战斗中最重要的一个策略来源，就我们叫做技力共享。然后因为所有的队伍成员使用战绩都需要使用技力，因为技力其实是共享的，所以说你必须在战斗中决策我此时此刻是否要使用技力，以及我要使用谁的技能来消耗这个技力。这个会让原本比较一成不变的一些战斗会引入更多及时的思考，让它变得更加刺激和策略一点。刚刚的以上3个特点其实都让我们能够设计出让这个游戏更加有策略的一些战斗玩法。比如说在我们游戏现在有的一些高难挑战，比如说隐拓丰碑里面，在某些时间阶段
Oh, they
你的技
picked the
力是
best
回复得很
stage.
慢，甚至是不回复的。在这种情况下，
They
玩家
picked
可
the
能需要
stage
去
where
思
some
考
content
说
creators
我要么是多带一些
have skill
特定
issue to
职业的
defeat
干员来增加我技力的回复，
and say it's
或者
the
说
worst thing
这个阶段
ever,
之
but
前
it's
去
really a
存储足
thinking
够多的技
stage.
力，让我能在这个阶段中再好好使用这个技力。
I
可能有的
genuinely think that's the
队伍
nicest one that
他
they
确实
created.
出
The
伤
the
会
whole
快一些，
spamming
但
of
是他
heat
的
infliction is
每
so
次出伤之后，他会有一
interesting.
段真空期。然后有的队伍刚开始可能输出会低一点，但是它随着时间之后，它就会更稳定的能提供更高的输出。我们希望这种不同的队伍的一些逻辑，也能够去增加整个游戏的策略性和一些趣味性。所以我们认为目前的整个战斗系统还是非常适合我们这个游戏的，我们也觉得它非常的有扩展空间。
Now, Neferith has been a long time coming. A lot of players have been working towards this. So, using Neferith as a starting point, what does this battle teach us about the future of Arknights Enfield? And also, what do you hope players learn from this encounter about how Arknights Enfield wants to be played?
Okay,
首先
yes, tell me,
市
tell me.
面上其实已经有非常多集中于即时反馈和爽快感的这么一些 ARPG 游戏，所以我们有很多即时的这个部分，但我们觉得我们也应该把我们的将来的一个更多的发展方向往策略的方向去想这个东西。我们希望继续推出像涅菲斯这么一个 BOSS 战中给玩家提供足够多表现力以及玩法机制的同时兼具的这么一些BOSS 战。其实我们做涅菲斯的时候有一个小遗憾原本是在它的人形态和龙形态之间的转换有一个可以游玩的这么一个过场的，但是因为工期原因确实是没有做下来。我希望我们将来的 BOSS 战以及更多的战斗体验里面，能够把更好的这种转场体验把它做起来。然后针对4人小队，我觉得我们这边还有非常多的拓展空间。比如说，在一场比较大型的战斗里面，你的队友可能不只是上去帮你攻击这个怪物，他还会像《龙之信条2》里面那样帮你垫脚，让你能够去够到 BOSS。这样的话，我们觉得整体的优势以及场面感，我们觉得都是
I don't know if
出
they,
来的。
that's something they
涅菲
can
斯
code
这次这
in
样
an
的，它其实
actual
有一个大跳
battle.
的按键嘛。
If they
我觉得这个
can
设计
figure
其实想象
out
空间也非常
how
大。
that
我
works,
们希望玩家不仅
that
仅
may be
是
pretty
把
cool.
我们
But
当
if
做
we
一
have our
个
units
即时
separated
爽快的
and
这
in
么
a
一个
different
RPG
platform
游
and
戏，
doing
我们也
stuff,
希望说
that's
玩家能注意到
wow.
我们这些可能整体玩法机制上比较策略、比较有趣的这些面，我们也希望玩家能期待后面这样的内容。
Rod, thank you so much for having me. Clearly, you guys have been very busy.
Yeah, Max, that's my
Oh, thank you.
pleasure.
Let me shake your hand
You
too,
can
bro.
check out the At the Wake of Spring update in Arknights Enfield
All
right
right.
now. And for more Arknights Enfield,
Yeah,
you're
it's a
in the
pretty
right place.
chill
Thank
interview.
you.
Nothing too much like that is humongo that we kind of have to hear about.
We shall see a prize task. And think
I don't know why I stopped recording. I stopped recording at that moment. But yeah, it isn't like something that is very just for the interview itself is a pretty simple interview that you get to listen and at least see the appreciation, the work that they actually put in to go from ideation into actual product launch. And I'm glad that I see a little bit of the hyper-graph flavor of them just like testing it over again, getting the players' feedback and trying to fit for most of the people. I don't exactly enjoy their approach that the game must be mass oriented. I think it's important, especially at the start of the game when you're trying to attain the most number of players, which can be the reason why we feel the current problems that we do in Enfield. But I do think with time and as it passes, there are going to be ways for them to bring back the feelings of the things that we enjoy in AK, the replayability of the game, the difficulty of the game. Like for them to have said that they've actually designed a boss that they were very proud of, but then it turns out a lot of people say that it's way too difficult for them to enjoy. That just tells me that, hey, you can just exclusively do it, in a side event. It doesn't mean that everybody needs to complete it. Now you have this player base, and now this player base is craving for something that's even bigger. Like, who's to care if half the player base only can defeat it? Of course, the other half might whine, but like, at least offer different solutions for people to be able to defeat it, and I think that will be pretty important. But yeah, pretty happy for what I've just watched, I would say. So that's that. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, anyways, chat. Inform you first, I said that I was going to stream in 1.5 hours. I'll probably stream in 3.5 hours instead of 4 from now. Because I'm going to go for a workout and I'm also going to have my dinner. So yeah, I'm not going to play Enfield today. I'm going to play Stronghold Protocol instead. So join me later on. Alright? I watched Taskmaster. I love Taskmaster. I watch all the recent episodes. Alright. See y'all in a bit. Bye-bye. Later on. Thanks for being here with me. Watching me film 3 different videos to upload. Gosh.